What's up? What's up? We are back. We got a brand new home screen. Things are looking a bit different in Overwatch. We got a new patch dropping yesterday with some, with some changes coming in. Nothing, I think anything overwhelmingly unexpected. Slight buff to Ramatra kind of meeting in the middle with the nerf that we saw at the start of Season 18, giving 25 of that armor back in a Nemesis form. Actually, the unexpected one is the buff to Hog, giving a buff to the crit multiplier of the scrap gun for Hog. Genji taking a 2-second nerf to deflect is another one that I think could actually have an impact. Lucio taking a damage nerf, which of course is going to affect your sound barrier charge and how often we're getting beat. This also takes some power out of your flanker comps as well, sending Lucio with one of your flankers, although I've seen less of that lately. And then we did get a brig buff. Let's zoom in here on EMEA expert for today. Will these changes have any effect on, on the patch, on the meta that we're seeing right now? I'm not sure. I think the 2 seconds added to Genji might be one of the stronger nerfs. They did slow down Tracer's perk build, but I don't feel like that's too much of it. Like, it seems like a negligible nerf, to be perfectly honest. Looking at your rankings, OG Realm coming in 8 and 5. Remember, only top 8 will make playoffs here for EMEA expert. So OG Realm currently sitting in that 6th position, are in a good spot for that. Peps Academy trying to see if they can break in. I mean, they were just one win behind. They've managed to go 7 and 6 here so far this season. So, I mean, you're pretty darn close. And there's a lot right on this match. I mean, if OG Realm end up dropping their 6th loss, that will knock them out of current top 8. And things are going to get very interesting here. I mean, again, where we got 3 matches left. You have 16 matches total on the season. You have 3 matches left here in Expert Division to figure out who's going to land in that top 8. See, let's zoom in on our match here today. Peps Acad, OG Realm. Peps Academy, it's a team that started off, I mean, what is that? That is, 3 and 6. You had wins over a struggling Moss and Tennessee Mirage, but otherwise you're dropping matches to Goat Tricks, Thunders, Casa Rain. Some of these teams that are lower in the standings, losing to Quack, to Hari, Super Shy, you can still be a top 8 team and dropping series to those 3 teams. It's those other 3 that we're looking a bit worrisome. But the bounce back again is they get their 2nd win over Moss, over New Moss. But followed up wins over Tree 9, Gallica, and Dragons. These are decent wins and a great streak for Peps Acad to come back with a 4-game win streak to bounce back into this and put themselves in contention for playoffs here with 3 games remaining in the season. So a very important one for them here. Can they keep that momentum going? Kind of a similar story with OG Realm, but they started so much better. They started 5 and 1, came out of the gate swinging, and then dropped 4 in a row to some tough squads. Goat Tricks being included in that. You were able to turn around recently, wins over Tennessee and Casa Rain. X's is a forfeit win. And these two were, both of those teams do not have winning records. And this has all been since the patch. Season 18 dropped on the 26th. So all of this has happened kind of since Season 18 started. Oh no, I missed first ban. I'm so sorry. Dude, I missed first ban. It is exactly top of the hour. How did we miss first ban? That was the fastest ban phase I've ever seen. We had a Roadhog and an Echo ban? With Peps Acad banning out the Roadhog. Let's get in map 1. We had Peps Acad banning out the Roadhog, and it was OG Realm banning out the Echo.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
So OG Realm still, again, currently in 6th place, but have seemed to struggle a bit since Season 18, since that major patch drop. Now, with the minor adjustments that we've had here with the mid-season patch, don't know if it'll change much, or much. It's also a word. Trash Panda says the Casa Rain took a map of OG Realm. So I'm talking about. Let's go, Trash Panda. Let's go. Hey, I'm not faulting you, all right? I'm just saying OG Realm's going to have to be able to beat teams better than that if they want to maintain top 8. They're going to have to beat teams higher in the standings, even better than y'all. If they're going to want to maintain their spot here at top 8 and get a spot in playoffs. That's all I'm saying. I'm not I love me some Casa Red. You know I love the squad. You know I love the squad. It's a good opener here for OG Realm to start. They will take this first fight, despite giving up, you know, kind of an unnecessarily free 18 to 20%. Drinking a delicious black tea here today. Gotta pour myself a fresh cup here as we get into this. Nothing terribly unexpected as far as compositions. You know, here so far, we are still seeing Genji on the battlefield despite the 10-second deflection. You see right there, as soon as we cut to it, what we're going to do, we saw 10 in the lower right-hand corner. We also saw just a slew of OG Realm players converge and cut the ninja down. With a pickup on Otacod, it's going to be another fight win here out of OGR. Remember, we also got a little bit slower ult charge on the sound barriers, just from, well, at least from damage. From the damage output of our Lucio. Still disabled Skater is leading all 4 of our supports in the server right now with this beat. Could be a big difference maker at 60%. Gowan lurking along coast side by statue. Doesn't go in, see if they can find the soft underbelly with this. Oh, never mind the pulse bomb. As Walkerby's going to shut down Narcos' blade. Gowan, really no need to invest the pulse. What we're going to do, clean up here. We're going to get a first good fight win out of Peps. Trash Panda, I owe you a dad joke. Don't let me forget. I owe you a dad joke from Monday. I am so sorry I forgot about it Monday. My goldfish brain will probably forget by the end of this map. So I'm just saying. Little 2v1 for Godwin. Got themselves caught a bad spot. Really overextended. Oh, and Kim with a beautiful shutdown. Fights Wargle do, and neither Genji Blade getting any value here on Ruins. At least not yet. The stall from Hyperion looks like it might get this, Stall from Hyperion got it up to about 70%. I was looking, sorry, I stopped mid-thought because I was looking at Bakker. I was going, wait a minute, I did not see that beat come out. I don't know if that beat made it onto the battlefield. %on the point. Gowan's been able to move in. Throws the pulse on the ramp. Almost caught disabled with that. Long distance Suzu won't land. Hyperion trying to get out of mech. Oh, I thought might have gotten pushed off the side as they were dropping the self-destruct. But getting back in mech, importantly. Without the D.Va here, and particularly without your Tracer, there'd be nobody to hold on to this point in this 99 scenario. So, but still, Peps find themselves without much ult to work with. Good pick from Wargle. The dude might give them the edge they need in that fact. Oh, Nevs is going to land a good shot. Equal the odds. No Curie on either side. Wargle looking a little outgunned. As Neves will find a pair. A late blade from Narcos to secure this 99-92 fight. We did get a flip amidst all of that. But nobody left from here. Bakara will not get the touch. And that's round 1 going to OG Realm.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle.
Oh my goodness, that is some wonderful team and some wonderful Overwatch. It's so happy to see you all here, friends. Thank you all so much for being here. I am so grateful for all the support. Y'all know we are 50 mere follows away from 5,000 follows. I can't tell you how just unbelievable that is. I mean, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. And we've actually managed to hit our goal this season of 100 subscribers, thanks to largely in part from the massive generosity of Retro Not Found. Definitely a huge shout out to that gamer. Anyway, a lot of amazing growth here this season. I mean, it's very exciting. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for you all to be here. Just wanted to throw that out there. We're gonna get another first cap here from Peps Acad. After a great early pick. So what we're gonna do, just able to catch, I don't know, somebody on the outside there. Catch Kip on the outside. I believe it was. Maybe even just force cooldown. I don't even know if they got the kill. I was yapping. Ooh. Go went in towards point, and then the entirety of OGR just turned on the Tracer. Chased them all the way back into Mega. Gideon's D-Maxed through, or excuse me, Kappa gets D-Maxed through all of that chaos, chasing the Tracer around. But late picks as Nevis is going to swing this once again. Nevis has had an outstanding first map, and that's going to be another good direct. I gotta learn to not let my brain interrupt my mouth. I don't know. It's like I gotta like finish as a caster, like as a when I've actually make it on main broadcast again. Which I've reached out. I have no idea if we're doing a main broadcast for Master Division for this season. I assume we are, but I have not heard. Anyway. Seeing restaurant all off the top. It goes all the way down into the middle, right over Hyperion. Them and Otacon will get chased down. Beautiful Kitsune rush there out of Kim. We're going to wait now a couple of extra seconds. Just give me a touch from Galwin. Kind of just draw some eyes. Kappa takes about half damage. Moves back to the top of the lighthouse. Here comes Hyperion in pursuit. But up here, well, the Kitsune rush of Vodka will not reach. Warlord ends up picking up a kill and Arcos there at the end of the fight. And, you know, what looked like a minimal impact blade ends up being enough to tilt the balance and get this point on over into Peps Acad's favor. Nearly 5K people excited for the weekly skunk count. I know, it's so amazing, Maddie. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. Played out of Narcos. Vaccaro has the beat. Oh, Hyperion not able to get back and mech through it. Not sure where Vaccaro was with that sound barrier. The team needed it. Saving it for this next fight. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if you beat, then you're able to protect the remake of Hyperion. You get your diva back in. I think that's worth. I mean, apparently they didn't think so. So we'll get sound barrier for sound barrier here in this next fight, but you're also gonna have Kim with this Kitsune rush. So still a distinct advantage in the support ult department. So there's the rush thrown in. It's thrown at the point. While the fight's taking place kind of more towards the back of the map. There's the sound barrier out of Makara. Skater has the response. And we get a flip in. Peps Academy steal this point underneath. They're going to get this up to 99. Hyperion with a great eat on that bola shot. OG Realm have the point presence, though. We're looking to chase Wargamadu towards this backside. And here comes Galwin to try to help out. Wargamadu ends up off that side, losing that duel, disabled Skater. Hyperion loses the duel on the point. Pulse Bomb gets gobbled up, and OGR have this 99-99 fight in the bag. It ends up being a late Kitsune rush, desperation. As OGRs hang on for this 1-0 lead. All right, we gotta keep a sharp eye. We know they're gonna ban quick. Circuit pick, Zarya ban. Boom, there you go. Peps and Caps, wasting no time. Wasting no time. Let's look at some stats there from map 1. We know they're gonna move fast. Neves 21 and 3, 8,900 damage, leading your lobby. Yeah, definitely had a hell of a map there on the Freya. I mean, so the hit scan looking really good there now. I mean, the Ilios is a great map for that. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see who got that first map pick. Mayban in from OGR. This feels like an odd pick, right? I mean, you kind of got beat up a little bit by Neves in the hit scan, and so you go to the home of hit scan in Circuit Royale. Particularly with the way Ramatra kind of got nerfed coming into season 18. We've seen the return of Sigma and poke compositions on this map. It does feel like a very interesting pick out of Peps coming into map 2.
Ready for battle.
We are getting the brawl here. A little bit. It's kind of a combination, right? Because you still get the Ayari out of Kim, but it's not the Baptiste. You're going to get the Juno with the Ayari. So you're getting kind of this hybrid backline of brawl and poke. Same thing with really this whole composition. You got Neves in the hit scan, but you still have Narcos and the Genji. Meanwhile, on the attack, we're pulling out the Ramatra. We think that extra 25 health given back into Nemesis form is enough to make it viable again. You got the Sim here for the rotations. Also, the beam is good against the Genji, kind of negates the deflect of the Genji a little bit there. You are putting Gawain into a Soj. Briefly on the battlefield there in this first fight. Oh, that's a good direct. That was some chonky AoE damage. Immortality field already forced out. Oh, good lord. Hole, why? Yeah. There we go. I don't need cheap viewers. I like high-priced, classy viewers. Man, Nemesis form push here out of Hyperions. Is that 25 armor the difference maker? Look at me, you're below that yellow line, and Mortality Field's up. And here comes the pursuit. Let's get the third person. Dash in, Ant Matrix to try to repel this. Looks like the defense of OGR is just going to run right past that window. Detroit Leprechaun, our resident Zenyatta fan. Unfortunately, so far, 2 minutes in, no luck. No luck in that department. Sound barrier from Makora hits all 5 here to try to defend against the blade. Morgan able to fend off Neves. So the defense now backpedaling very quickly. After swapping to the fray at a match, go and find a bit more success here. Photon barrier countered by the Terror Surge. Well, there's enough here between the photon barrier and that annihilation. It's just enough sustain, enough distraction, if anything. You're able to overwhelm, and I think we've got the touch. Neves lands that? Oh my gosh. Neves sends a message long distance. There, as we headed to point B. With a bolo shot out of Galwin. Unclear for land. Can respond with the sunspot. That hit multiple. What an enormous ultimate out of Kilm. Oh my goodness. Something spectacular about a great sunspot. The Plat team I coach scrimmed this Orisa Juno Yari core on circuit. And I still don't get why it would be good. It is a very hybrid comp. And well, I mean, the Juno is certainly the weak spot here. If you can run over the Juno, you win, right? Like, you can just see. They find the shot onto the Juno, and immediately OGR have to just run inside the hotel. Oh, Narcos? Narcos, that is a bold move, trying to hide behind the tent. All right. Neves is able to push out and find a kill out of Galwin. Peps are not able to push in. Capitalize on the isolated Narcos, and we get the swing back here. And there's the other aspect, is because Juno is so fast getting back in the fight like that, once you get that kill onto the Juno, you have a tiny window with which to go in and capitalize, see if you can burn through an Orisa's cooldowns, all while avoiding the poke damage between Neves and Kemp. Blade from Narcos is just another wrinkle into the mix, but a beautiful vortex out of Hyperion, and Narcos is reminded what it's like to play against Ramatra's Genji. Not a fun experience. What we'll do is going to teleport it on top of the tent. I think this is what you should have done in the last fight. That was a bullet shot tossed in. Makar's able to get his sound barrier down. See if they can get this over the line. There's an orbital ray onto the point. Kappa is standing tall. Narco's been able to dash in by the pillar and find a kill on Makara. But there is no Juno left. We talked about how that sustain is just a cornerstone of this defense. With the Juno gone, it's a matter of time before Hyperion's able to topple the rest. Kappa moves up to try to retake the high ground. I mean, it's just poking at the bear a little bit. Let's see what Peps are going to do. They end up actually pushing through, trying to take this point as the cart was starting to slip away from him a little bit. So Otacaw's going to throw the Kitsune Rush on the objective itself. We're going to be teleported up to the window for a moment. Did not last long up there. Neves has, I mean, just been a force of nature. Now Kim's going to drop it over the top of the captain's son. Neves trying to follow up on it. All guns pointed at Hyperion. They're able to put up the block back up, and, well, you know, that extra 25 health so far is the difference maker and will eventually get brought down. And that's just got to be the fight. Less than a minute to go. Thank you, Athena. Photon barrier gets cart around the corner. Final push. We're gonna have dueling bola shots and a Terra Surge. Bola shot from Galwin does not land. Narcos comes in, finds the kill, pulls out the blade, goes after the Otacawk. Kiri will find that kill as well. This attack might just be on its last legs as I say that. William who finds two, but gets gunned down on the point. The Terror Surge from Kappa does significant damage to Hyperion. Means they are forced off the objective, and I think this is just the end of the line here for Peps on this attack.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
Neves once again and already leads in damage in the server. 15 and 3 at 8,600. More than either of your tanks. I mean, just barely more than Kappa on the Orisa, but that's your Freya out damaging your Orisa. Goodness sakes. Who's up against her Ramatra, by the way. So, I mean, it is just, you know, a lot of damage being poured into her front line. You know, it's not like you're fighting a wrecking ball where it's more of an elusive tank. Although, same is probably true for Nevis. You know, Nevis looks like a lot of damage being poured in Hyperion's direction. Good corner hold. Namely, defensive Peps trying to hold second corner, not trying to play too close, as we see a lot of teams try to do, at least previously when we're getting this Brawl v Brawl matchup. When you get a Lucio back comp, once again, Otacog coming off with the carry, opting for the Baptiste for the defense, but Narcos just brings him down. He didn't even get the immortality filled out. Narcos just finds that kill out of nowhere. It was a very Ghost Ninja moves. Narcos is going to dash through 2 more. And Narcos, quote-unquote, not a Genji one trick, by the way. What a beautiful fight. Fantastic fight out of Narcos. You got the cart within 2 meters. Recontest. Who gets the team there just in the nick of time. But now, Kappa able to set up shop here right at the corner store. Lucara forced back by the spear. Mid-Nemesis. That's actually kind of just spoiled that resource. Now with that cooldown, you know, just in there waiting, Kappa has an opportunity to try to push forward. Both of our Freyas come equipped with bola shots. That one goes behind. That's a chunky bola shot. A lot of AoE damage, but Kim is able to get this Kitsune rush down. Neves also throws an ultimate there on the front line. They're focused on Hyperion, and I think Kappa, ooh, would love to find that kill. Narcos dashes through, but has been forced out. Narcos comes back in for a second attempt. Sound barrier lands miraculously out of Akara. Unbelievable you're able to get that beat down. The blade looks a little dulled as this defense is able to find a 2-for-1 trade. Look to stabilize here. They know Narcos is lurking. Okay, yeah, Narcos is going to try to get out with the rest of the team. Kitsune Rush and Annihilation available. This is a lot of sustain here from Pepsi. They're going to open up with a very early Annihilation. So it's like the Annihilation, then to the teleport. It ends up working out. You still are able to intercept the disengage. You see how deep Hyperion was able to get into that defensive line. Or offensive line, rather. Delicious cup of tea. Oh no! Well, Jerome's trying to set up to push forward here for this final fight. They end up just waiting too long, getting too much time for the defense to get set. They end up with an aggressive push with Hyperion's Annihilation. Now the Sable Skater moves in and try to get the touch. Not happening. Peps Cat will tie us up with a win on Circuit Royale. Yeah, this Captive Sun was huge. Was enormous. What a clapback, and I questioned the wisdom of taking OG Realm to a long-range map after Nevis had just dominated on Ilios. And actually, Nevis, dominated fairly sufficiently on their own defense. They do deny the cap in the hotel, but couldn't get anything going on the attack. And turns out the Peps Academy defense is where they were banking everything there for this series with that Circuit Royale pick. Works out for them. They hold. They tie the series. We're knotted up. OG Realm get map pick, and it's Suravasa going into map 3. All right, we slowed our pace a little bit where we're not doing like, okay. We actually let a couple seconds go by before picking the Sim ban. Look at some stats there. Ooh, did we get a side swap? Yes, we will get a side swap. So Sim ban goes to my right-hand side. And Nevis still comes out with top damage. But despite that, it's not enough. And even in, like in the death column, it feels like Peps Acad have more deaths, and that's with winning the majority of team fights. They only lost one team fight on their attack. On their defense. So, stats were definitely looking better for OG Realm. Just goes to show you, it's how you play the map. How you play the map. Stat card will lie to you. Wasn't a Risa ban from Peps Acad. We get ready for map 3.
Ready for battle.
Pepsac. I actually had forgotten about Pepsac, to be perfectly honest, and I'm kind of glad I did in Dilges now. Hey, you know what? At least I got to go this long in some sort of ignorant bliss.
One. Initial flashpoint. Live.
We're getting Hazard. Hazard versus Winston. So we're kind of going back into dive. You do still have Nevis in the hit scan, but we're kind of getting more of the same look that we saw from Peps Acad on Ilios, when they are going back into that double flex DPS, immediately making a move, but looks like the hit scan of Nevis proves to be too much. A well-placed bubble denies a lot of the efficacy of that dive, and Nevis sends Peps Acad packing. That's Pepsac packing.
Cybernetic innovation at its finest.
All right, so we think the Warglub do swap to the Reaper. The Warglub Reaper. The Warglub Reaper. Okay. Warglub Reaper? There we go. Warglub Reaper. There, that's it. That's it. I knew I could find it in there somewhere. Oh, that's a dangerous dash from Narcos. Had that 10-second cooldown ready to go, fortunately. 65% counting here for OG Realm, this opening point of market. Hyperion drops in, puts a lot of point pressure in. You see both Narcos and Kappa kind of trading off, trying to let Hyperion know they're there. Kappa actually able to locate the kill into Makara, who is trying to come in to help out their tank. Kitsune rush invested towards stair side. Narcos and Warglow Reaper, or excuse me, Narcos and Kappa combined for kill on the Warglow Reaper.
Flashpoint ruins.
Oh, let's go check out this plate. That's a 3 for 2. Nevis will help point it out. We'll get first cap on Ruins for OG Realm. Warglow Reaper's able to sniff this out. Shadow step to the opposite side of the point. I love that, just to kind of make sure you're not taking unnecessary poke damage. Copper leaps in, pulls the primal. I heard the downpour land, and Disabled Skater did not get that sound barrier down. Hyperion does end up pushed off the map, but still, it's gonna be a first cap in from Pepsicad. What I'm gonna do is Low does have the Wraith form to get out of dodge. Kappa has quickly returned, trying to get back in this fight. I think they're just waiting for a second for Skater to get in here. They have. So 5v4. No tank into the battle. Makara gets that sound barrier down just barely. Able to save Warglow. Medusa gonna drop it with the Death Blossom. Hits Nevis with it. Cancels the OC. You're gonna get a Susie to protect the end of it, and that's gonna be enough to fight a kill on the Kappa and Kim. What a kickback there from Warglow Medu. Pepsicad with a big swing there on Ruins. An exciting back and forth initiated by a great sound barrier cancel there from Hyperion. It cost them their life, but it ends up working out in their favor. You get the resulting Kappa swap off of the Winston entirely. Now a very aggressive push. Look how far in Hyperion is. Uh-oh, Otacar gets caught. All of that great effort might have just been in vain. Now, OG Realm just, in the blink of an eye, a bit of an overextension there for Pepsicad, and OG Realm have control. They're able to get a little defender's advantage on this point. Which can be a very tough one to cover, especially with a Soj kind of set up in the back line like this. So it's a Kitsune Rush layered across the point, directly aimed at Nevis there. Leap from Hyperion, just gonna avoid some poke. Oh, they knew Narcos was coming out. I think it was looking for Narcos on the other side. Guessed wrong. Narcos went left, pulls out the blade and finds Baccarat. Hyperion in trouble. Pepsicad on the ropes. Forced out. Oh, what a great wall that would have been if that had been able to lock Narcos down. Garland will blink through at the 97. Make sure we got an OT. Lands an aerial stick. What a pulse bomb out of Galwin. Disabled Skater had beat as well. An important kill that Kim's gonna try to swing back. Gets the headshot, throws the Kitsune Rush in, but cannot keep Narcos alive. It looks like Golin's dying efforts may not be in vain, despite this Kitsune Rush. Pepsicad put up a beautiful wall to deny a remake. And to do their Tracer proud here in this final fight for this second point. Ruins will go to Pepsicad. We're tied up on Suravasa.
Flashpoint Palace. This ends now.
That was the Chandelier side OC. Almost called it an OG. Warlord Shadow stepped out with 5 health as the Sound Barrier comes in from Bakara. Skater has the response, but you still have a Consumer Rush on this point. What are we doing with the Death Blossom? Goes up, dances around right in front of the Diva. The dancing shotguns get absolutely nothing, but you know what? You hold Kappa into the corner, forced to respect that ultimate long enough for kills to come through from Galwin and Hyperion. The Death Blossom ends up being a red herring. Nevis caught early is a good start for Peps at 65%. One more pick, and we should get him a 2-1 lead. Oh, but Gowan goes down trying to find Narcos. Narcos holding play, and I can see what Gowan was going for, but they end up overextending. Narcos is forced back, grabs Mega. Kappa very low on health as the Consumer Rush comes in, trying to get him topped up. Kim's gonna sit up here for a minute and throw some Mafuda down, but here comes Makar to boop everybody up, making things uncomfortable. Ends up being a 1-for-1. Narcos will not get that blade into this fight, but Hyperion no longer here either. Gowan has returned with said pulse. Not gonna get the chance to use it yet. Recall used. Beautiful blink melee. They're able to fight. Kim, is that enough? Taking the sustain out of the fight might just do it at 99%. Kappa has to come in touch. Kitsune Rush invested from Peps to solidify this point. We'll cut down 80 from OG Realm, who dares approach. That is an ambitious Dragon Blade if I've ever seen one. And we got a 2-1 lead here for Pepsac on Suravasa. We're going right next door to Gardens. Fight kind of backing up into the corner. Oh, what a shot on a Wonderland who canceled the Death Blossom in that small room. Oh my God, Neves! Neves with a 4K overclock. That was spectacular. One of the best overclocks of the season. And you managed to cancel the Death Blossom in the process. That would have absolutely decimated your team. Neves is there's got you protected. That was incredible. Take a bow, Neves. Take a bow. Wow. Sound barriers. You do have 3 ultimates for Pepsi to hold this. Well, try to flip this, rather. It's going to be Bakura who opens up at the sound barrier to start. Skater investing the 1 ultimate here from OG Realm. Neves with the double slide back, trying to get away from all this pressure. Actually even manages to avoid the Death Blossom, the Pulse Bomb as well. And then the slingshot. OG Realm muscle their way back in after a great push and pull. And they're going to take Gardens and send us to our 5th and final flashpoint. We're headed to Temple.
Flashpoint. Temple.
That was a speculative Dragon Blade. That is one word for it, Maddie. That is one word for it. Co-side control from OG Realm in this important 5th flashpoint first fight. Oh no, and a free first cap, give it up. Pepsi Cat just gonna get aggressive. Immediately Hyperion finds a great headshot. That's gonna be a very low skater. Brought down 3-piece for Hyperion. What an opening fight and a great first cap. They're able to build percentage through that as well, all the better. And spend 1 ultimate You know, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Now, there are still 3 online, including this Kitsune Rush Blade combo out of OG Realm. Peps tried to intercept. Gonna be difficult. Yeah, the Kitsune Rush is up. You know what? Peps are happy with that. They're out. Oh, but Hyperion does not make it out. That would have been wonderful if your tank makes it back into safety. Now, what we're going to do, try to see if they can even this up. Ooh, you got the double shotguns in you. You will find Neves. Can the rest of the team hold on to the point? Galwin's able to find Disabled Skater. You do get a flip out of OG Realm, but Kappa just has 700 health, and most of that's armor. That's a bit much for a Tracer to try to deal with. Hyperion has returned, though. Now, maybe you can deal with this. Good cover from the OC. Neves snuck in on the right side. Hyperion got greedy. Oh, what a beautiful shot. Finds a pixel of Attica. Just to make sure that they put an emphatic fight win here. Oh, nobody saw that, Neves. Nobody saw that. We were watching Warglober Reaper. Blade from Narcos. Suzu already used. Right on top of the supports. It's a beautiful blade that Death Blossom just to try to fend it off, but the deflect is good. The sound barrier is in, and the downpour is not nearly enough. OG Realm will bring it back here. What an incredible Suravasa. And they're going to take it home. Lead the series 2-1. God, that was a great map. This OC needs to go in the record books. This was nasty. Woo. What more do you want? Runasapi, Freya banned, Peps I mean, immediately. Like, just no time wasted. No time wasted. Look at some stats there from map 3. I'll get all of the above plugged in for you. Side swap, Freya banned. Cap comes out 30-4. Neves, once again, though, will lead the lobby in damage, as they have for all 3 maps. 32 elims as well will be top. They do have most deaths on the team. 3rd most deaths in the lobby. But that's, I mean, you got to feel like Pepsicad know what a threat Neves is and is trying to focus down that hit scan. Baptiste, man. Get this camera in a decent spot. We'll get to map 4. Kind of a cool little angle. You don't usually get this angle. What do you think? What do you think? What do you know? That's a cool little angle, yeah? Oh, I didn't change the map number. Sorry, we're on map 4.
3, 2, 1. Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Interesting. So with the Freya ban, we will get Neves into the cast. No surprises there. It's the Zarya. Not that, I mean, we've seen Zarya, you know, becoming more and more prevalent here recently. Not that it's that big a surprise, but it's our first time seeing it here today. Can be very useful for help, you know, protect your backline through those bursts of damage. Ooh, so can Neves. Neves can be just useful in any scenario. Headshots both DPS in the blink of an eye. Unreal. I feel if I'm not on Neves' pause, I'm doing all a disservice. Up here with a good opener here. He's able to win the fight on the corner. And, ooh, but it's so low. Spends a lot of health to make that happen. This fight's still on a nice edge. If Kappa can find the angle, but they can't. Hyperion's able to duck in behind the juice truck. Get topped up. Maintain this +1. Continuing to push forward. After Warglow swapping back onto the Reaper. Goes back into the Warglow Reaper. Bubbles up. Rush in. OG Rope. Trying to search. See what you can find. Both cooldowns used from Otacon, but they're able to regroup with the team. Will have their own Kitsune to respond with, assuming they can survive this dive in. Narcos will execute him with a nice triple headshot. Warglow gives chase, and with a sound barrier will hunt down that kill. But runs into Neves. Still, that pick is enough to start the dominoes falling. Ooh, late trades from Neves, but eventually you end up in a 2v1. Kappa tried to get the back cap. Gets the solo grab on a Colin. 1v1 versus the Lucio to see if they can get the checkpoint. Kiri has shown back up. Otacon has to self Suzu, and they get the checkpoint. No way. No way OG Realm get checkpoint on that. Unreal. The solo grab from Kappa ends up being the biggest 200 IQ move. Neves is going to find Warglow before this Kitsune Rush can hit the battlefield, taking your main source of damage out. Good stick lands, but it looks like it was Suzu'd up, and Narcos is able to find a kill with the blade. So a 2-for-1 trade favoring the Realm. They're going to take this down into a messy 3v2 at the end. Chase down, Narcos hunting down Baccarat. Galwin low, Galwin dead. Narcos having a hell of a map here thus far. Narcos 7-1. Deadeye in. That's a skull out of the hazard. Oh, the follow-up. Him fan the hammer finishes them off. Flashbang just decimates the Reaper. But worst nightmare. An OG Realm is haunting the dreams of Peps right now. That is the checkpoint of victory, not just for Runasapi, but this series, and maintaining a spot in top 8. This is playoff contention on the line here in this map, and Disabled Skater gets cut down immediately. What a response out of Warglow to do. They're not letting their playoff hopes go that easily. Kitsune Blade as well as a Graviton Surge. Big leap in from the car. There's the Shadow Step in from Warglow. You have a lot of ults to continue with. Warglow is going to go and throw the Death Blossom in. Is able to get one before the deflect. Finishes them off with their own bullets. But the 2-for-1 trade, valuable indeed. You take Neves out of this fight. Does Kappa and Narcos want to try to invest? No, they're going to wait. But I think this is smart. The disengage, they're going to have enough time to come back in, recontest plenty of time, as a matter of fact. Look at Kappa trying to sneak in through the store. Look, a blitzkrieg? No, it's been spotted. Galwin has scouted out this attack. Sound barrier tossed in from Baccarat. I keep going back and forth between Baccarat and Baccarat, don't I? Narcos finds Otacon with that blade, though. That is enormous. Oh, you needed that Kitsune rush here if you're a Pepsicad. Just like I keep going back and forth between Pepsicad and Pepsac. Four minutes to go. OGR take control. They used the blade in that last fight, but not the grab. They're going to go ahead and throw that one into this fight, catching the monkey up front. But Otacon with a Kitsune Rush finds a pair of kills. Let's give you some Otacon pop. Gets a nice headshot there. Let's go. Otacon with a clutch team fight to keep Peps in this. And keeping their playoff contention alive. Watch, we're going trying to sneak in with that massive distraction coming in from middle. You see going playing off of this far right flank. There's the shadow step in from Wakaba doing the same time. Good convergence. They're able to find disabled skater with a well-coordinated dive. Take the sound barrier out of this fight. Hard-earned kill. See if they can get a checkpoint with it. You're going to see Galwin and Wargler Reaper continue to try to pursue, but maybe have bit off more than they could chew. And they still have yet to get this checkpoint. Ooh, the contest comes in just the last possible micrometer. Centimeter, rather. Millimeter, one of those things. Millimeter. We'll go with millimeter. Love the series of teamwork there. You see OG Realm, Bubbling, Narcos. You got Cam, Suzu, and Kappa. You know, just all-around teamwork there from OG Realm. You love to see it. You love to see it. All right. Primal, Sound Barrier, Pulse, all available. We've seen some very coordinated strikes here from Peps. But certainly is one here and now. With less than 2 minutes to go, they need that checkpoint sooner than later. Yeah, but they have OG Realm in a bit of an awkward corner. But pushing up that hill can be dangerous. You can see he's taking too much damage. Is already shadow step back. Wraith Form, that is. Kitsune rush in. Kind of just a swift disengage. Both DPS and Hyperion immediately go back into the corner. Do not want to give that up. Sound Barrier to protect against this Primal Rage. We have the response in from Peps. Narcos will dash through. Welcome to do. Make sure we don't get that Death Blossom in. They're able to chase out another as well. Finding Bakara. Otacon and Galwin trying to figure out a way to regroup here. Ooh, maybe even get something on the way out. Oh, yeah, Otacon was just never made it out. Yeah, but you have the Death Blossom. It isn't all a bait. Is Otacon the bait to draw him in so that you can get the Death Blossom? I don't know. It works out at least enough for a 2v2 trade. Peps have not gotten checkpoint yet. Once again, this hill, this uphill battle, both literally and metaphorically, has been giving them fits all map long. Grab is going to catch 2, maybe even 3 caught in that. Actually, no, Hyperion was cut down right there. And that is going to do it. GG's in the chat. OG Realm have everything they need to close this one out. They will move to 9-5 on this season. Separate themselves there from, you know, a couple of teams that were all sitting at 8 wins. OG Realm are able to elevate themselves here with only 2 games remaining in season 6. So an important dub here, an important dub to try to give themselves, you know, really solidify a spot in playoffs. That might actually do it. Is that enough? Major will move up to 9-5. You have Hari and Quack taking dubs here as well. But GG's all around. 2 games left. OG could end up 9-7. We'll have to wait and see what happens with the remaining, like what happens with Hari in some of these games actually determines whether OG Realm will solidify a spot here. I think Nevis is got to be your player of the match here. Sorry, just gonna come back in and put a nice little bow on this. I mean, Cap had a hell of a series, but Neves, I believe, actually does not take top damage in that fourth and final map. It's the only map Neves did not get top damage. But was just an absolute tour de force here in the hit scan all day long, playing into double flex DPS, and still able to make it work and really find, I mean, just exceptional play. I think that 4K on Suravasa really kind of embodied it. That was insane. Please clip that. Please clip that. So yeah, that was absolutely your player of the match here.